Everyone that's had a touch in this should be commended to the highest degree.
What an awesome asset this is to the community and the town of Fowler.
I'm just blown away by the auditorium. It's such a great room.
Used to come in and say, wow, when you saw the auditorium, but now it's the bigger wow because it's finished and it looks great.
You know, to come in and go, wow, which is what we wanted. We wanted people to come in the auditorium and go, wow.
Those that have been in here are so excited and impressed.
When we purchased the Fowler Theater in 2001, Fowler had basically become what a lot of small towns had become. It had become a semi-rundown, you know, not very attractive place to do business, a lot of empty storefronts. It needed help, definitely, but it was a big project. That's going to cost a lot of money. So once we got the Fowler Theater to where we started, I think our first section that we did, which was the marquee and putting the metal panels back on the front, that was a big sign for people that we were moving ahead. And I think when you do something like that, you give people the encouragement maybe to do the same, and the town of Fowler just jumped right on board.
We're very, very delighted that the theater has taken on this project. It's great for the Benton County citizens that live here. I can remember when I lived on the farm with my parents, and we would come to Fowler occasionally, not too often, but I think the first movie I saw was Goldfinger. So that goes back a few years. It was neat to me because I was little and we went to this big theater and we saw this great picture, and those are great memories.
I remember when the Prairie Preservation Guild decided they were going to make this happen. Unfortunately, I was a skeptic, and I'm thinking to myself, this will never happen. And they've proven me wrong, and it's so cool.
Benton Community Foundation is a public charity, and we just serve the geographic area of the Benton Community School District. And so we get involved in a lot of community projects. And the theater is one of the ones that's received probably the most funding out of the foundation. The foundation views this theater as the jewel of our community. And every time there's been a need for funding, our board has graciously stepped up and been excited about helping with funding as much as we could.
When we started this, we were lucky enough to get Craig Wetley to be our designer, and Craig had recommended to us that David Orr of Sapphire Theater Company work with us on the decorative painting and the design. And he and Craig worked together very carefully on that.
Paul Shutter's one of the finest construction people I know. Lyle has a wonderful electric business. You know, you don't have to go very far down the street to find someone that has quality that can help you create something.
I was the general contractor for the project, Phase 2 and Phase 3. Phase 2 was the concession area, bathrooms, lobby. Phase 3 was the auditorium and the stage area. Normally I do more residential house building and remodeling, and this was quite a different project from that. I like to be challenged, and it definitely was more of a challenge, and it actually made it fun. I mean, it was definitely a lot more difficult, a lot more thinking and figuring out stuff, but definitely was a lot more fun. The designer had a set of stairs that retracted into and underneath the stage. He had a design for it, but it was not already figured out, and it was something I had to figure out. And it took me a while to think about that one, but once we got the process rolling, it went fairly well, and it was a fun challenge. I think it turned out really nice. Actually, a little better than I expected, actually. David was great. We had a good rapport between David and I because if he needed something, I was there to give him a hand. If I needed something, he was there to give me a hand. It made the process so simple and easy to get through. Both of us worked to whatever we needed to help each other out and make this process go good.
I think the biggest challenges were just the scheduling and timing. There are so many of the things I had to coordinate with Paul or the designers or others because we had to do certain things before others. Things had to be done before chairs went in or before a carpet went on the walls. And so there was a little bit of jumping back and forth between projects.
And the process of getting things done in a timely fashion, I had to get things done for David. David had to get things done for me. So we worked really well together at keeping that information aware of where our next step was and what direction we were going so that we could keep it on a good timeline.
I was first involved with the Fowler renovation for phase 2 when the lobby and front of house was done. I restored the decorative plaster frieze which runs through the lobby. And the designer wanted to really accentuate all of the patterning in the plaster, so we did a multicolor restoration of the plaster and made it much more vibrant. But what that meant was that there was a lot of time spent on my back painting on the ceiling with very small brushes. But that was also how I got the nickname Michelangelo, which was very fun. I think that was when I really felt like I was part of the team. We painted a couple of medallions on the ceiling. We painted other decorative plaster elements for the 2 feature areas in the lobby and the exit signs at the doors at the back and the front of the auditorium. We restored the decorative plaster along the sides of the auditorium. We did the decorative painting on the border trim and the decorative element at the top of the candelabras. We painted designs on top of the speaker fabric, which is on all of the speaker boxes, as well as painting some of the other elements in the speaker boxes or the wall sconces. The medallion over the stage and the stage columns, and I painted the mural on the back of the stage.
I love the mural. When I saw the sketches of what the theater would look like, I thought maybe they'd just put the mural in to fill the sketch, and so I was very excited to find out that there would actually be a mural there and that it would look like that. I mean, the building's just beautiful. And even, I mean, you can share pictures online and talk about it, but until somebody walks in here, I don't think they can fully grasp just how beautiful this theater is.
I'm really, really proud of the mural. As an artist, that's a canvas, and so I'm very proud of the painting of the mural. Being able to do a very large canvas is always a big pleasure. There are not many opportunities to paint something 12 feet by 12 feet. I also really enjoyed painting in the very graphic style that we designed for the mural. It is reflective of the Art Deco interior of the theater. I like being able to paint in many different styles, and this was a style that I thought reflected very well the rest of the theater. It really helped to bring the whole design together and be a nice feature on the stage.
This is probably one of the funnest project I've been on in a long time, and that it really excited me to go to work every day. I mean, I just really had a lot of fun doing this project. Same for my crew. All of them enjoyed coming to work and working on this project. We all, for some reason, it just seemed like everybody was a little happier because it was more of a challenge to everyone.
It's a great experience for young and old. And I'm so glad it's here. And I'm so glad that the people put it together and made it happen.
You know, all the small towns are kind of dying away, and we're hoping that this is one way to preserve Fowler. We're just proud of what's happened here.
And so I think it would make everybody who lives here or has been here in the past very proud that we could have something you know, of this caliber right here in downtown Fowler. I think it would rival any in the country, to be honest.
It's a group of citizens who just come together and keep working to try to, it's a business. It's being run by community people, basically is what it is. And for that reason, everyone in this community has a piece of it.
I'd like to say a huge thank you to the City of Fowler for letting me be a part of this project. It was a great pleasure for me to be able to add my artistic elements to this building. It was a great honor to help bring life back to this great building.